Now, South Africa may be sitting on a cannabis gold mine, but a lot of our potential to cultivate this green gold still lies in creating legislation conducive to this. As government mulls its new cannabis master plan, this policy framework unveiled to Parliament earlier this year claims the local industry could be worth as much as 28 billion rand and craft some 25,000 jobs. But the fact is that it's still early days and the ground still needs cultivating. Shaad Vayej is a legal associate at the law firm Cliff Decker Hoffmeyer, and he's closely following developments on the hemp regulation front. He joins us live now. Shaad, thank you so much for your time. We legalized cannabis for personal use in 2018, and that's opened up a whole new world. But what needs to happen now to get it legalized completely for commercial use?
So that's quite a nuanced question. So commercial use entails, to break it down for you, there's sort of three main avenues for cannabis. It'll either be through hemp, which is sort of industrial cannabis, and that can be used to cater for, fuels, paper, textiles. There's so many recorded uses of that. Then there is the recreational market, which is where the majority of South Africans and people around the world tend to be familiar with cannabis. And then there's the medicinal space. So within those spaces, there are quite a few jobs that can be created. When it comes to hemp, it is more of your sort of unskilled labor and semi-skilled labor. When it comes to medicinal cannabis, there is sort of skilled labor involved. And if you look at the government's National Cannabis Master Plan, they recognize that individuals need to be trained up. We need to upskill individuals on the ground. But we are primarily or traditionally an agricultural nation. And we need to use that to our advantage. So, as you say, we are sort of sitting on a gold mine.
So how can current legislation then be amended to stimulate the growth of this industry? And there's a few laws waiting, a few bills, I beg your pardon, waiting to be signed into law. Where are they lacking?
So one of the key areas that they're lacking in is empowering the recreational cannabis market. For instance, we have a court judgment in 2018, I believe, which allowed for individuals to cultivate and consume cannabis privately for private purposes by private adults. However, if you are an elderly person or you live in a township, for instance, there's simply no scope, or you simply lack the gardening experience necessary to cultivate high-quality cannabis. There's no scope to obtain the kind of cannabis that one desires, one perhaps needs for medical reasons. And so empowering the recreational market by allowing for cannabis social clubs, cannabis private clubs and growing clubs is a significant step that will allow sort of domestic consumption of domestically farmed cannabis. And that is a massive revenue stream, as we can see in America, in California, and various other states that have legalized it. Their taxable revenue alone has been fantastic.
Shaad, we've run out of time, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to say goodbye, but thank you so much for your time. Shaad Vayej, a legal analyst from Cliff Decker Hoffmeyer, to talk about the cannabis industry in South Africa.